Hey guys, welcome back. I want to talk about Martin Ødegaard, the captain of Arsenal Football Club, our leader, our emotional leader, the guy who's won Player of the Season twice, I think in the last maybe 3 years. A player who's had an indifferent 12 to 18 months due to a variety of reasons. You, the most optimistic people out there would say he's been injury plagued. He's not been able to consistently play games, which has led to a poor run of forms. While the very pessimistic people would say he hasn't been good. He hasn't been where he typically is. We talk about at the top of majority of the positive statistics from an attacking standpoint. Goals, it's dried up. I think he's had like maybe 4 goals in the last 12 months. Assist, it's dried up. Progressive passes, progressive carries, breaking the lines, like most of the key stats that defines Martin has dried up. But also during all this time, Arsenal has constantly evolved. We've had to play Merino as false nine. I remember Martin, and this was a performance that was hugely forgotten. It's a perfect team performance when you talk about our home and away games against Real Madrid. But I remember Martin being good, being excellent. He controlled the tempo of the game, which we know that is one of his biggest strengths. And he was really good, and nobody spoke about him in those games. I remember against PSG he was also good in that game. I remember he created loads of chances home and away, and nothing came out of it. But let's talk about this season. If you have to use a word to describe Arsenal, this is a team that has what won majority of our games. We've won like 30 something games this season, lost only 4 games. If I'm not mistaken, 3 in the league and 1 in the Carabao Cup final, which we lost against Manchester City. That's emotionally draining and disgusting performance, which I've refused to comment on top because I think it's past the time now. I couldn't bring myself to talk after that game, but by the that's that's by the way. If you have to describe Martin Ødegaard and what he could offer this Arsenal side, it will be us doubling down on what has defined our season. What has defined our season is game management, controlling the tempo, going away from home and sucking the life out of opposition. I think this is one of the reasons why we've been hated this season. We go away from home and we play diabolical football. We play winning football. If you've played football at any level and you have a game that your life depends on, play what you call functional football, which is what we've played this season. The two number six are essentially box to box midfielders, right? We play two sixes that when you add both of them together give you the complete midfielder. At least both of them together from Zubimendi beginning of the season and Declan Rice that we always know. Zubimendi hasn't been the same player as the turn of the year. I don't know if it's the mistake that I made against Aston Villa and Manchester United. It's been a little bit more negative than ever before. He broke the line multiple times beginning of the season. But what we haven't seen enough of is a midfield combination that plays consistently together. I think Martin, Declan Rice, and Zubimendi have played what, 7, 8 games together in total. Eze has come in and out of the team also, but we haven't seen that. We haven't seen the ability to double down on what Martin Ødegaard would give us. He would give us tempo. He could release Martin Zubimendi to play high up the pitch. He gives the coach options. Options we don't have since Merino has been injured. And Merino is one of the only players Mikel trusts outside of the starting players in that midfield, take off the workload of Rice and Zubimendi, which we've absolutely run those guys to the ground. So in the absence of Merino and the absence of Odegaard, Mikel has just gone full throttle on Zubimendi and Rice, and they've played an insane amount of games this season. We would need the players that Mikel trusts back into the fold. I think Merino is done for the season. So we need Odegaard more than ever before, right? Those fans that are criticizing him, I think this is the time that you have to give the player the support. You have to give the captain, the guy who is about to, I know he hasn't contributed much, but not just this season, he's contributed a lot since he's been in the team. He's our captain. He's our emotional leader, and this might be his time to come towards the end of the season and lead us to victory. So in terms of having a settled season, he hasn't. He hasn't had a settled 24 months, being up and down, injuries, injuries, injuries. This season was even more wretched than ever before, where he was just comes back from injury, plays 15 minutes, goes back to injury, comes 15 minutes, knee injuries, shoulder injuries, ankle injuries, back injuries. Just it's just insane. So let's talk about how we anticipate Arteta, and I think his press conference probably tomorrow for the FA Cup game coming up. How do we anticipate Mikel using Martin going forward? In my opinion, I think he has to start this weekend when we play Southampton away from home. I want him to be the captain in that game, start that game, get about 60, 65 minutes into him. I'm assuming he's been fit for at least maybe a week. I'm assuming that his workload has already been increased gradually in the training ground, and I'm also assuming that he hasn't had any setback. We need you, Martin. This is the time to step up, right? Get that 60 minutes into his body, see how he reacts. He doesn't have to start in the midweek against Sporting Lisbon when we travel to Portugal in the Champions League. We can rely on maybe Havertz coming in and playing that role when we go away from home and we play our two forwards deep and we play on the counter. So like I want him to play. You get Martin in there, get some minutes in Saka's legs. If Saka can't start, I think Madueke is out injured at least for another week or so. So maybe Saka starts from the bench, but Martin, you're starting. Trossard, you pull out of the international break, you're starting because Martinelli is busy traveling throughout America. I don't get these players. I know they're loyal to their national teams, but you haven't won anything for Arsenal. This is the time, and I'm grateful for the national team coaches all paying us rest people like Rice and Saka who are already in the red zone. So Mendy also left after playing one game. So I think we've gotten some more energy in the tank. We need to test out Martin. We need to establish the new partnership in midfield, establish his ability to connect with people on that right flank. I know, okay, Benjamin White is going to be the one playing because all eyes and all road leads to the game against Bournemouth at the Emirates Stadium. We want to have our best 11 out there, which is something that we haven't been able to have this season, is to be able to consistently put out a starting 11. At least eight, nine players out of that 11 should be the players that you're depending on now, right now in the running, right? We don't know who is our number one, number 10. We don't know that, right? We don't know who is the best center forward for the team. Is it Havertz? Is it Gyökeres? I don't think Jesus is going to be on that list. We don't know who is the starting left winger. I know, like, I want to know right now. I think Arteta is probably going to lean towards Trossard as a starting nine, left winger, Saka on the right. When it comes to the games that are really important to him, I think depending on the game state, Gyökeres or Havertz, I don't know how Havertz hasn't shown consistent fitness this season. We have to manage him. At this point of the season, we're still having to manage players. It's our squad, and I'm grateful for the owners and Andre Beta giving Arteta that squad. It's our squad that has gotten us to this stage. We've had Saka injured multiple times. We've had Trossard injured. We've had Martinelli injured. Gyökeres was out for like 2 months. Uh, Odegaard has been out at least 4 months of the season. Eze has been out now. I don't know how long it's going to be for. Calafiori out. We are without that depth, we won't be in this position, guys. We won't be having the opportunity to still win more than one trophy. We won't be having an LD advantage in the Premier League title race without our captain. We've struggled a lot of time in the previous seasons when we missed Odegaard. But now we have Eze who is a very good deputy and somebody who can also take the shift from you. So it's LD in that position. But also, we haven't even had them at the same time, maybe for a period of maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I think we had them around November, December, if I'm not mistaken. But we need them. We need to be able to say, okay, Odegaard, 60, 65 minutes, or you're not doing it. Is it coming? Right? Those two players to put pressure on top of each other. But this might be a good moment for Arteta to lean on Odegaard again and see if the juice is still there and see if this player that I believe in so much, that I believe has insane ability to be considered as one of the best midfielders in the world. His ability to control ball in tight spaces, break the lines, especially the first line, connect with Saka, connect on our right wing, maintain possession, control games when we're under pressure, which is something that Romania Rise they haven't done particularly well in some key games this season. But we're here, and our captain is back, and it's all about getting him fit, getting games through his legs, and pushing for the running. The last 7 games in the league, the last possibly, I don't know what, 5 games to win the Champions League, maybe 3 games to win the FA Cup. We can do it. We got to believe, I believe. And if you believe out there that this is the season, this is going to be one of the greatest seasons of our lives, you got to give the captain some support. You got to get, if you're in the stadium, push the boys anywhere you are, give them that full 90-minute support for the last few games, and I believe you're going to get it done. Thank you for having me. Welcome back, Martin Ødegaard, captain of Arsenal Football Club. Thank you. Goodbye.